Hello, my name is Tuesday, and I am here to show off the Knightling. Published by Saber Interactive and developed by Twirlbound. This is a action-adventure 3D platformer set inside of a very colorful and bright world, where I feel like it has the vibes of Jak and Daxter with a little bit of that combat from the PS2 era. In this game, you take the role of the titular Knightling, a knight in training under the tutelage of Sir Lionstone. In this run, I'll be going over 4 different biomes, engaging in all types of battle, and using many different skips and movement tactics to get around the game as quick as possible. So with that, let's jump into the game. So to start out, you will select New Game and head into Troubadour mode, which is the easy on this. So with that, we'll do 3, 2, 1, go. So as you start out, the first thing that's going to happen is a cutscene is going to play out. You're just going to skip the cutscenes, and you are going to take over your character immediately. So in the beginning of this game, you have 3 forms of movement. You have walk, running, and dashing. Dashing being your quickest, so I'll be spamming my dash as fast as possible. So through the tutorial, your goal is to get Lionstone through the tutorial, but you can actually skip doing most of that by just getting him to walk over the triggers and then leaving him into the areas that he was in before. As long as his mount is moving, the game thinks that he is next to you. You can also see that I moved that box in a weird way. If I hold down my sprint and I keep grabbing and letting go of an object, I can slide it across the ground much faster than pushing it, like you would normally do in games. So right here, I'm going to hold my dash and just keep pressing grab and ungrab. And I'm going to make my way up to my first puzzle, where I'll have to rotate 3 of these to pull down 3 of these blocks. And they'll unlock a floor platform below me so I can continue into the level. So this will be the last one. I'm going to hold X because a cutscene will start. So in this game, if I hold down X before cutscenes begin, or at least most cutscenes, you can skip them initially. Some like this one are not skippable, but a majority of them are. So I'm going to dash my way and leave Lionstone behind so I can get to this puzzle before he gets here. So a lot of the puzzles are going to be like button combinations that are always random. So each time you do a run, the button combinations for the puzzles will always be different. And if you mess up, they'll change too. So if you input them wrong, you'll have to do it again, but the code will be different. So here, I'm going to move this box onto this pedestal, and then I'm going to stand on this one. And the moment Sir moves his mount, I can just continue on. Even though the bridge isn't pulled up and he's not behind me, the game has already put into like the logic, oh, he's moving, so that means that he's next to you. So you can continue on to the next cutscene, and it'll just teleport him forward into that area. And once Lionstone is teleported in, I'll just make my way to this turnstile where I'll open this gate and I'll wait for Lionstone to go through. And as Lionstone goes through this door, my goal is to jump onto these blocks that are next to me and then do a dash jump before the text starts, so I can be a little bit further into the level other than waiting for his text to go off. And these mushrooms are little bounce pads, pretty typical in a 3D platformer. You're going to have a bounce pad here and there. Once we get our shield, there's some jump mechanics that you can do. And right here, I'm going to do a cutscene skip. So I'm going to hold X and then mash through the text so it skips all the cutscenes. And if I hold down on my D-pad, it allows me to heal myself. So if you see in the bottom left corner, oh, I guess technically I am blocking my health bar. But in the bottom left corner, there is a health bar and a food bar. And if my food bar is filled, I can use it to heal myself. So I'm going to do these puzzles and make my way across these hands to the last one. If these puzzles end in X, you want to make sure that you hold it because it allows you to skip the cutscene. And same with like interacting with cutscenes, like right there as you see, I held X and then interacted with the golem. So instead of having to watch what was coming next, it just skips it straight through. Even though you can still skip the cutscene, you have to wait until the prompt rotates and fills up. And if you just preemptively hold it, then the prompt automatically fills before you even get into it. Alright, so with that, we're going to meet our upgrader, Ginny, or Ginny is her name. You'll come to her quite a bit to upgrade your shield. So I'm going to talk to her. You're going to let her know that Magnus has been damaged. She'll take care of Magnus as you'll go talk to the queen to let her know that your master is missing. So during that fight, before I skip the cutscene, your master had like a cave-in that crushed the beast, and you know, you were saved, but your master disappeared. So your quest now is to figure out where is your missing master. So you're gonna go on a bunch of errands to earn your right as a knight so you can leave your providence and head out into the world to find clues on where your master can be. And so starting out, we're gonna make our way past these guards, Legend of Zelda style, so we don't get seen and thrown back. So we can talk to the queen and ask her, you know, what we can do. She's not really as, you know, caring. She's like, yeah, whatever. So you're sent out to go help some of the common folk, and as you're leaving the queen's area, Ginny appears, or Ginny, and she has Magnus, who is fully repaired. With Magnus fully repaired, you can actually do shield sliding. So in this game, you're technically supposed to just slide momentarily on the shield, but if you keep jumping, the momentum is kept in your jumps, so you can indefinitely shield slide as long as you want, as long as you time your jumps. And this purple goo that we're going through is actually a boost mechanic. So she sends you on like a small errand to collect samples of it, but it's just a way to show the player that if you ride your shield in it, that you'll get a small boost of speed. And once we're done helping her, we're gonna come over to the tutorial to learn how to do combat. So the first thing that you'll learn in combat is how to block. Pretty simple. You're just going to go up to the enemy, hold block, wait till the enemy to hit you 3 times. So that's 1, 2, and then we'll do one more hit. Boom. Okay, so the tutorial will continue where now you will hit the enemy back. So combat's a little bit slow if you do it the normal way, which we have to in the tutorial, but later on you'll see that I don't chain the combos like this. There's a way to manipulate the combat by interweaving your dashes into the hits, so you can do like a hit cancel, so you can continue attacking without having to wait for the pause. So here, we're going to wait until we see a red glow, and then we're going to use our dodge ability. The dodge just makes you invincible to damage and causes all damage to go through you. It's very useful for when, you know, you don't want to take damage, but most of the time, we're going to be trying to parry everything that we possibly can. Like here. So here's a parry. All you got to do is make sure that right before your enemy hits you, that you hit your block. And you do 3 parries before you can complete the tutorial. They're pretty simple. Enemies are really telegraphed in this game, making parrying much easier than most. So right here, you have to fight him. The best thing to do is wait, do a parry, and then do a single combo. So 1, 2, 3, and then that is the end of the fight, where now you'll be heading to the archaeologist, and you'll be interrupted by another knight who has a date going on and thinks that he's more important than you and needs the thing that you need because of the date. So to convince him to not take the item that you need, you have to go get a bunch of moist flowers for his date, who ends up rejecting him anyways. So I love him so much. Sir Monoteki. So we're going to make sure that we always select the gold option in dialogue, because that's what continues the story. So he agrees that if you can get him something for his date, that he will give you the scroll that you want. So we're going to make our way across these buildings, hop down, and make our way into the sewer, where there's going to be some pots. Instead of going around, you could jump on these pots, jump up here, and then go straight to the mechanic to pool. So Y-A-Y-X, jump over, and then push the box off the ledge. Pretty simple puzzle stuff. And then grab the box, put it on the pedestal, and grab the flowers. Once you have the flowers, you're going to try to get out of the sewer while still shield sliding. It is very hard because it's a very cramped space. So like right there, I wasn't able to do it. But it is nice when you do, because you can jump off your shield, as you can see, and get a lot of distance, making it to her much faster. So you'll give her the flowers. She's not interested and rejects Monteki. So you'll head back over to Monteki, let him know that he's been rejected, and he'll be like, oh, okay, so that's the first person that you help. During that time that you were helping them, Ginny, has formulated a way to upgrade Magnus to be throwable. So you are now Captain America, and she sends you on a quest to hit 4 bells within the city Providence. So you're going to go through, And you're going to hit 4 different bells with your throw. Also while trying to shield slide in between them to gain some speed, so you're not, slowing down. This one you don't actually need to throw. You can just go melee it since it's in the way that you need to head for the 4th bell. Dash, aim, throw, and then she's right below you, so all you have to do is jump. And with the shield, as long as you shield bounce before you hit the ground, you won't take a stun. So there's no fall damage, but your character's knees will buckle beneath them, and they'll lay on the ground for a minute. So you want to make sure, if you're jumping from tall heights, that you always shield bounce before you hit the ground. So now that she has helped you and she's upgraded your shield, your goal now is to head up these stairs and go to the first cartographer station. So the cartographer stations are like fast travel points. And there's a few that you have to unlock. Like this one you have to for the story's sake. So the cartographer comes up, talks to you, and then gives you a map, allowing you to go in between areas. We don't need it right now. The goal is to go help 2 other civilians or people around the world and get their problems complete. And once we get 2 of them complete, you'll hear a horn in the distance, allowing us to continue on with the story. So we'll help her. And they need to clear out their barn for their animal because it's unsafe for them to be in there with these creatures around. So you take it upon yourself to help them clear it out. Once it's cleared out, you'll just go back and talk to them. Make sure you always select the gold dialogue to continue the story, and it'll take you over to a farm where you have to collect some clues to figure out what's been happening in the area. So you can actually throw... Okay, well, I didn't get it, but you can throw your shield early and get this target before entering into the area, so these doors open up. And then you can head over to this area and slap this target to open up these doors, where you'll find some claw prints. This is the second to last one that you need, but before we head to the 3rd one, there is a treasure chest behind this house that you want to make sure that you open, because the currency in this game is going to be used for upgrades for your shield and moves. So you'll be able to learn moves and upgrade your shield at the same time. So once you collect all 3 pieces of evidence, you'll head over and you'll interact with them again, and they'll send you out to go talk to a painter because they've been being harassed by local monsters. So what you're going to do is just shield bounce over this wall. Make sure you do it at an angle so you don't slow down. And once you're in this area, this is what I mean by you can attack cancel. As long as you don't finish the animation and you slide beforehand, you can cancel it and just continue moving. So as I was beating up those enemies, I made sure I saved the closer enemy to the contact as possible. So when I was done, I could just go straight to them and turn in my quest. Another thing I want to show off is if I hit my shield and I do a shield slide on top of a mushroom, then I'll get a mega bounce, which is useful for a couple things in the run, which that'll be explained more later. So here I just need to put some paint in this barrel and then drag it over. You'll be thanked, and then you'll learn about the day and night system in the game. Funny enough, you only use this one time in the run. In casual play, there's achievements tied to it and other things, but this is just a tutorial to teach you how to change it from night to day. So I'm going to hold X and do 2 jumps, so I skip a cutscene, entering me into the next portion of the mission, where I will slide jump over to this goo to get a speed boost, and then I'll bounce, and I'll immediately start attacking this, all while I try to get some parries off as well. So parrying enemies in this game actually hurts them. Unlike other games where it just kind of like stops them in their tracks. And this one, if you get a successful parry off on an enemy, the game rewards you by damaging them. So I got to that mushroom fast enough to where the text usually stops your character, but because I hit the mushroom, the character stays in the air long enough for the text to finish, so I can continue on with the quest to head over and finish it, where I'll be rewarded with a little bit of food and some money, which is always nice, because once again, upgrades are going to be very useful in this run. And the next person that needs help is a dispute between 2 people about flowers that are going to go in front of their house. So we're going to go help them by apparently doing a race. I'm not really sure how that helps them, but apparently racing around this area just, I don't know. Maybe it's like they have a bet on me, but yeah. So they're going to introduce us to races. So we're going to go through, we're going to skip the cutscene, and we're going to do a dash, shield jump, and then head over to this wall. You want to complete this course in under 13 seconds so you can get first place. The reason why you want first place is because you unlock 3 treasure chests if you do. And those 3 treasure chests will give you enough currency in the run to upgrade your shield to pretty much maximum on where you need to be for the rest of the run. Just straight off the bat. So, AY, XA. Now, once you open the chest, you just want to make sure you collect all the currency. Sometimes the currency falls out behind the chest and you don't pick them up. So you always want to make sure that you take the time to look around because it's all very important. So once the noise stops and you've collected all of it, you'll teleport back by using the watchtower system or the cartographer system. And the next goal is to head to the main gate of your village, because apparently your master's horse has returned, but your master hasn't. So you demand that you're allowed to go out and try to find your master. You're told no until you're proven to be a knight, where you are sent on a quest into a tomb to take down a giant golem. But we'll get to that very soon. So in waterways, you get boosts on your shield. So it's good to stay in waterways if you are traveling. Try to find them to keep up with your speed, because it allows you to get around town very, very quickly. Oh, okay. Well, you know, that's cool. Technically, you're supposed to be able to get over this wall in one slide, but sometimes the NPCs are just in your way. It's RNG. You don't lose a lot of time or anything, but it's much cooler, you know, when you do it like in one stride. So you'll talk to them. Once again, they'll say that no, just because your master's horse has returned, or mount has returned, doesn't mean that you're allowed to go out there and go fight him. So now you need to go talk to Ginny again, and she will let you know about a tomb with a golem in there to prove your worth. And so there is a skip right here. We'll see if we can do it. If not, I'll explain. Okay, that's a skip. So what happens is if you talk to her and you bump into her with your shield at the same time that you talk to her and you hold X and Y, you can skip an entire dialogue section with her and an entire cutscene that overviews the area that you're at. And so that was very lucky, but it was kind of cool to get it off in the submission video. And as I'm making my way down this waterway, as I said, it gives you boosts, but you'll see that I'm constantly jumping. Now, the reason why I'm constantly jumping is because if I hit the side, you can see that I'm being forced left. It's actually giving me a slight speed boost forward as well. Even though it's not a lot, because of how long the waterway is, it does add a few seconds to that time save, which is really nice. So I'm going to keep bouncing to the right, keep pushing my character inside the middle, and I'm going to time this jump to where I can land on this brick wall and into this field. And if I follow this road up, there's going to be a trainer that I can learn my next move, uppercut. It's technically called shield launch, but it's an uppercut. So, to make it easier to understand, I'm going to call it the uppercut. So once you got that, the next thing to do is to get inside of the tomb. And you have to fight these enemies before you can continue. And now some enemies have armor and some enemies don't. So I usually try to target the enemies without armor first because it makes it a lot easier. Now the thing about the enemies in this game is that they have like an auto, like a lock-on, unlike you. But what's nice is that you can parry everything they throw at you. So because you know they're going to hit you, it's really simple to prepare for it and get a nice parry off. So once the armor's damaged on an enemy, you have to rip it off. You can't just immediately start attacking them. You have to get them stunned and then you can work on it. And you can also stun them again as long as you get their bar filled up. You can also sometimes stun lock them by constantly parrying their attacks. So once they're done, I like to heal myself in case I took a lot of damage. the cutscene's going to start, and I'm going to shield slide up to this statue and place my shield on it while also jumping on its back. The reason why I want to jump on the statue's back is because I'm going to jump on this ledge above me, jump on this statue's calf, onto its hands to grab this purple orb, and then I'm going to try to race my way over to this platform before it raises. And then I will jump onto this platform, wait for it to raise, jump onto this one, and then dodge roll right as I touch the ground so I don't, break my ankles. And then I'm going to use these mushrooms to get over to these platforms to grab the last orb, where I will skip a cutscene and Magnus will come back to me from the statue, unlocking the entrance into the tomb to continue on to prove myself to be a knight. So as I go down the stairs, I'll be presented with another cutscene and then a new little puzzle mechanic with these crystals above doors. They're not difficult. All you have to do is hit them with your shield. And then I'm going to try to make my way across the tomb without falling into the water because that slows me down. So good job on me for doing that. I'm going to barely open this door. Even though they want you to fully open it, there's a skip that you can do right here. If you dash, double jump, attack, and then zoom in attack, you can actually get enough distance and control your character's horizontal axis to move over enough to land on a little plane to get behind that door without having to do the puzzle, saving you a ton of time. And then once you're up there, you'll make your way in here. You're going to hold X, interact with the statue, jump onto this platform, wait till it to raise, and you're going to leave this area to head to another platform that usually you'd have to jump over and turn that turnstile, but because there's coyote timing in this game, you can dash and then do an extended jump and actually just get across without using the turnstile to raise the platform. I'm going to collect this purple orb. I'll do another coyote time double jump. I'll match these platforms in height and then hit this little mushroom to get on top of them. And then I'm going to try to grab this orb without jumping so I can do a double jump before touching the ground. Now, the reason why is I usually could just hit B, but if I mistime it, and let's say I do, I'll actually break my ankles and I won't be able to make it to these platforms in time, missing the cycle, costing me a little bit of, it's a few seconds. So to make it safer, I just opt to do the double jump save instead of doing the dodge roll, just in case I end up missing it. And now, once you're done with that, you'll come back in here. You'll interact with the statue where Magnus has been upgraded to do power attacks. So with power attacks, you can break shields, smash walls, you can take out groups of enemies, but you have to have a full bar. But with these pillars right here, you can actually refill them. And this room isn't supposed to allow you to leave with it because that red stuff on the ground is supposed to suck the energy out of you. But if you hug the left side, it doesn't do anything to you. And so here's our first major skip. If you're on a certain FPS, you can actually jump onto the wall right there and then you can just keep jumping until you make it up to this area and you've skipped the entire dungeon straight to the boss. The only part of the dungeon that you need to do is to unlock power attacks, and that's it. And so with this fight, the goal is just to get him down on his, and then do as much damage as you can. Until you get down to the middle shield, and then just break it, and then pull his armor off. And the first attack you want to do is a power attack, and then just do a 4-hit to a dash. And then you can parry this, but it's extremely hard, which did not happen. If you parry it, you can actually do a 1-phase boss, but I was not lucky enough to do that. So now the goal is to get these enemies defeated as fast as possible, which is actually very simple to do because you have these power generators constantly giving you energy. And once that purple aura around the boss is gone, you can do a power attack to knock them down, and then you just defeat them. And then once the boss is down, that chest behind them, you'll need to open for some currency and an upgrade. So you're gonna Y, X, Y, A, Y. You'll get an upgrade, which is called Armor Stunner, and then a ton of currency from the boss and the chest. So you want to make sure you grab all the currency. And then how you get back is you just go off the ledge. And since the game didn't actually register you being over there because you skipped, you don't have a save point over there. So you just get teleported back to the beginning of the dungeon, which is exactly where you need to go. So, win-win situation. And then you just shield surf by wiggling your analog stick back and forth up the stairs to make it a little bit quicker to leave the tomb. And once you leave the tomb, you're going to head over to Guinea again at a different outpost to get your second upgrade for Magnus, which is your umbrella mode, allowing you to use wind gusts that you'll find in the air to travel around. Now, you wouldn't need these to complete the game, but because of the flag system in this game, it requires you to get the ability and to complete the quest with it. So, sadly enough, you can get to all the areas in the game without it. But the game has a flag system that you have to do certain quests and interact with certain NPCs to get certain things to appear in the run. So sadly, we cannot skip it. So we're gonna talk to her, and then we're gonna go into the menu and unlock Magnus Glide, which I like to call like your Mary Poppins mode. Like you kind of unlock your inner Mary Poppins. So during that cutscene, you're able to get over to the trainer to learn your dodge roll attack. So dodge roll attacks are used to hit what they call nimble enemies. And nimble enemies dodge every single normal attack you throw at them, no matter what. They're just designed to not be able to get hit by your normal attacks. So what a dodge attack is, you have to attack after doing a dodge, which then tracks onto the nimble enemies. So it's always good to make sure that you're grabbing your currency to upgrade, so then when you get to this point, you have your nimble attack, because a lot of the enemies coming up are going to be considered nimble enemies, especially the bat enemies, which are some of the worst in the game. They have this auto-tracking bash ability that bashes you, and then it also sends down lightning that strikes you. And then the bigger bats have a giant AoE that shoots poison, and if they glide into you, they take about half your health away, so it's really good to be aware of what you're doing. Alright, so now that we're over here, we're going to climb up this dirt road, and I'm going to detour to the right instead of heading to my mission, and I'm going to try to get up these wooden slopes without bumping into anything, so I can ride this airwave on top of this rock, where I'll go into a shield slide into this purple goo, into this tent, and then I will get my new cartographer location. I'll jump over the cartographer, and if you look in the top right corner, you'll see that it'll say like a fast travel is unlocked. So once that happens, I don't actually have to go all the way there. I can just open up my map and fast travel, saving myself around 30 seconds. So once you arrive, you'll head up to, like, you're gonna do the quest, but then they'll send you on some tasks. But instead of going to do the tasks, you can actually head this way to get to the boss early by jumping over an invisible barrier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head across, I'm going to get a lot of speed, and I'm going to try to do a skip to get to the boss a little bit quicker. So if I hit this mushroom, and I do a double jump off of it, I don't think I'm going to get it. Oh my god, okay, I got it. Anyways, so you can get up here by doing a double jump off of the mushroom into a shield bounce, but the timing is really hard and finicky. And even if you're slightly off and you don't hit the angle, your character won't grip onto the side of the cliff, so you'll fall down. So that was really awesome that I got that. Now that we're up here, you got to head over to this gate, and usually you wouldn't be able to get over the gate, but they added collision on top of the gate for some reason that you can get on top of. You know, you can jump over, and then you can enter into the boss arena instead of having to do the entire workaround. So with this boss, this is a parry boss. Your whole goal with this is to just parry everything. At least not in this phase. More like the phase coming up. Okay. So with your power attack, you can actually jump the enemies as they spawn in, allowing you to take out one of the bigger ones that take a lot longer to kill, and one of the nimble enemies without needing to use the dodge attack. So same thing right here. You can actually work your way into the nimble enemy by attacking the big enemy. And for some reason, the nimble enemy just won't register that you're coming towards it. So it won't do any dodging. So kind of like this enemy, I can just start out with a nimble attack and easy peasy. Once all enemies are defeated, a wind tunnel will appear where you can take it up to the next boss. So the goal right here is to take out the nimble enemies first, which is very easy because the other enemies will constantly throw themselves at you, making it extremely easy to take them out. Also, the potions don't just hit you, they also hit... Okay. I forgot that the drummer heals. So good thing to take out the drummer. Once again though, it doesn't really matter because you can just lure them in the potions to save a bunch of time. So here comes the difficult part. These enemies, even though there's explosive barrels next to them, it just doesn't register that you've hit the explosive barrel sometimes. I mean, it happened now, but sometimes you are not lucky enough to where it'll register that you hit those explosive barrels, and so the enemies just won't go down. Even though you know you hit the explosive barrels, the game will not register it, and so the enemies just... nothing happens. Okay, so with the alchemy boss, sorry, I had to focus right there because this boss is a little bit difficult. So with the alchemy boss, your goal is to get every parry possible. So then you can destroy the shield before the second phase happens, so you can one phase the alchemist. So you do need to focus a little bit on the attack patterns, but that was a one phase alchemist, saving around 2 minutes on the entire fight. Because otherwise, he'll spin around in this circle, and then you have to do it either once or twice. So it can either be a 1 minute time loss or a 2 minute time loss, depending if he does it back to back or if he does it once. But that was a one phase alchemist, making it a very, very quick fight. So once you're back in town, instead of heading to your mission, you'll jump down this way, and you'll head over to this tent where you'll talk to another race organizer. And then you're going to hold X before interacting with the race, so you skip the cutscene. And now this one isn't 13 seconds, it's 22 seconds, so it's much more lenient. And I'm not sure why they added so much time to this one, considering I don't really know what the original course was supposed to be, because even casually, this is the route I took, and you can complete it way faster than 22 seconds. So this is another one that if you hit with your shield, you can skip one of the cutscenes, which just happened. So usually when you talk to them, they'll do like a wide shot of the arena and show you all of the obstacles that you're supposed to complete. But if you run into them with the shield, and you can see like they flinched in the cutscene, and then you interact with them while they're flinching, it'll just skip the entire thing, and you can just go straight into doing the challenge. So the whole challenge here is to beat this arena faster than the knight, which is very easy. You just have to blow up the barrels, push the mushroom over, and then knock down the 3 targets. And then once that is done, you've now defeated the alchemist and the race, while also defeating them in a challenge, allowing you to finally enter the fort. So you can take this wind gust up here and land right next to the mission objective. And she will explain that you need to go save Sir Menteki. So what you can do is right after that cutscene, if you launch yourself over the railing, you can actually get on top of that wooden area and just kind of go straight to where you need to and head straight to Menteki. Menteki's in a cage, and you have to do a power puzzle where you need to figure out how to align the grid to bring enough power to unlock the cage and to unlock a room on another ledge. It's actually very easy, especially in the speedrun. I'm really glad that it wasn't a difficult thing, and it actually benefits from the speedrun to because usually you'd have to like go up to these certain areas, but because they added tangible ledges in this game, instead of making ledges have like invisible hitboxes, you can jump on things like these little ledges to get up to areas that you normally shouldn't get to. And then braziers don't burn you, so you can just stand in them and get an extra little bit of height, and then use your umbrella to get up to that platform. And then from there, the whole goal is just to keep grabbing these objects and bring them over to their targets. So right here, this unlocks a target that you can unlock Monteki's door. Talk to Monteki, and then escape the enemies because they're going to be surrounding you. And grab this and bring it onto this pedestal. Now you can slightly see yourself in the cutscene, so if you know what angle you're going, you can actually just get over here sooner by just watching yourself in the cutscene. Alright, so from there you'll just ride this wind wave up, and you're just supposed to get to Monteki. Technically, he's supposed to wait next to the catapult for you, but because there's still enemies around, his AI is going off to go destroy the enemies, so he'll walk away from you plenty of times in this area. So once that's done, you'll shoot the chemical into that bramble, knocking it down, allowing you to get to the broken flask, which you'll take over to a research center, and it allows you to make your flask thrower for your shield, allowing you to also break down bramble without needing to use like a crossbow like you just did. So what you do is I've talked to Monteki. Monteki's going to sit over there with his AI and destroy all those enemies because he's invincible, so he's a baller. And then from there, I'm going to do a little glide and then to a shield bounce so I can get up here. And then I'm going to try to get up this purple goo so I can get a lot of speed. And if I jump just right after doing that, this animation right here will allow me to glide up hills much faster than dashing. All you have to do is once you jump and you're going uphill, you just got to keep mashing your dash with your shield, and your character won't actually touch the ground, and so it'll keep flapping in the air, and you can just ride that flap all the way up hills. So what you're doing here is that you grab that broken flask, you're going to use it to make a potion. They want you to first make a sparkling white potion, so you know absence of color, so just drain all the color out of the tubes, turn it completely white, and then hit this target. They'll let you know if you did it right, and all you do is grab it out. Sometimes it's a little finicky because of the collision on the ground, so you'll end up losing it. You'll pull it over here, it'll burn. They'll say that's not exactly what you're looking for, so they'll ask you to make an orange concoction. Now, to me, this is yellow, but the game says orange, so I think that would be very confusing for a lot of new players, but I'll show you what I mean. So what you're supposed to do is pump the red all the way up, and then go to green, and there you go, that's it. So that's what they consider orange. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's yellow. So I feel like for new players who don't understand that, is going to be mixing these concoctions for quite a while, trying to figure it out. So once you've mixed the concoctions, Ginny will learn how to make a flash thrower for your shield. What it does is when you throw your shield at something, if it, you know, needs the flask, it'll throw them. But we don't use it ever, like ever, in the run. It's just not necessary because you're just gonna parry smash everything. So once you're done there, you'll head over to this wall, you'll do a double jump into a glide, and you're going to try to land on this ledge, and then you'll do another double jump glide to land on this ledge. The reason why you do that is otherwise you have to take that road all the way down and then all the way around. Otherwise, you can just jump on top of those little cliffs, get all the way over, boop, and you're good to go. And you can just ride it straight up this way. Now, same thing, if you jump correctly and flap, well, I didn't get the flap, you can ride the flap all the way up the hill. Once you're up, you just kind of come over this way. And with that flask thing now, technically you can bring down these brambles. And this leads you into the swamp area. So in the swamp area, when you go across this bridge, your character will start falling. There's a way to like use your flap like that, ready to go, right? Just like that. And you can move forward. It doesn't.
Out with these great heights.
It saves you no time, honestly. Maybe like 2 seconds, but it's still fun to do. So once you're in the swamp, you're trying to find the base, but everything's an illusion, so every time you find it, it'll disappear. Sorry, I need to hydrate. Been talking a lot. And in the swamp, you're introduced to a new mechanic, which I like to call bubble jumps. They're only used in this area, but when you jump into a bubble, you'll swim through it, and it'll launch you out on the other side. They're just to get across gaps. It's just like a little stylish way to be like, hey, you know what? Instead of using mushrooms all the time, how about you use a bubble? So right here, you're supposed to go all the way around and up across that bridge, but if you jump on top of this bush, you can actually get a boost off of this vine to give you enough height to get on top of here, and then you just hit this, glide it out, do an extended jump into a shield slide, and you've made it to the next area. And then you want to do, technically you want to get a lot of speed, but I'm not sure I'm going to get it, so I'm going to try to extend out my jump. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's not exactly what I wanted, but it still works. Because all I'm trying to do is make it over to this goo. Because once you're in the goo, you get a boost. And you can just ride it up the cliffs. Once you're all the way up, there's going to be a smoke cloud that appears, and then a fight will start. I have a fully charged special bar for a reason. I want to use it on this giant bat. I want to get rid of the giant bat as fast as possible. And then the rest, I want to take out the small ones, while making sure that every time I get a special, I use it on the big guy, because it makes it so much faster to take him down. And then with my special, I can just use it to take down the small ones. And you want to make sure you do this fight well, because you don't have a lot of healing anymore, at least if you're me. Unless you get like a monster, like monster meat, which sometimes isn't. I don't know. It's so rare. It seems like enemies even on easy barely drop monster meat for you. Once you have the monster meat, which I just picked up, you'll have a little bit of healing, and then you can just kind of head over. And make sure you always go for purple goo when you can, because the speed boosts are really nice to get up hills, especially when your path requires you to go up a hill. And so here I'm going to dodge the bubble jump because it's not needed. And I'm just going to head on over. And my goal is to touch those stairs to unlock the fast travel. And then once I touch the stairs, I'll take an immediate right and head towards these bubble jumps. I'll chain both of them together and land on top of this bush, where I'll do a double jump into a dash jump, into a dash jump, into another one, where I'll get up to the cartographer station. And I'll input the code. Oh, it on an X, which is good because that means it skips the cutscene. And then you just can teleport straight to the outpost. Once you teleport over, you'll be asked to help 3 civilians inside the city. So you'll tell them, yes, I'll be right back. So instead of having to talk to the ones that need help, you can actually get it done. I did not mean to hit the NPC in the face. You can actually get it done before talking to the NPCs. So right there, a little bit slow. I didn't mean to throw my shield, so I didn't get the shield slide. So once you take out all 3 of those, you can come over and talk to this person. Poppy's the name. And let them know that, yeah, I'll help you with it. But you've already done it, so you just gotta talk to them 3 times. And then they'll say that they saw Sir Lionstone somewhere, and that's your first clue to finding your master. Now, once you're done helping Poppy, you're gonna head over here, and you're gonna jump on top of this bramble. And then you're gonna jump over this gate, and you're gonna do a dash into a double jump. And then you'll talk to David. From David, you're gonna do a double jump on your shield to get enough momentum to fly over to these targets, and you're gonna hit this green one 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then hit this red one. And then while that cutscene's going, you can actually move, and then you'll go talk to the NPC that needs the pearl. But because you've already got the pearl, you don't need to worry about doing it. You just give it to them. Now, the reason why we do it in the order that we do is because if you save the pearl for last, you're at the closest location to the next area where you need to go to figure out where your master went. So just for routing reasons, it's much faster to do the NPCs that way. So right here, you're supposed to take a whole alternate route to get around the bramble, but you can just jump through that little gap right there, take no damage, and then head in. So once again, okay, well, that's very unfortunate. The big bat dodged my, I'm trying to fight like 4 enemies at the same time. And the game knows it because of its jank targeting. Like, what? It's okay. Anyways, now that the bats are gone, you come over here and you pick up this scroll, which will tell you where your master's at. You only need to pick up 1 of 3 scrolls. So once I pick up that scroll, I just head over to where my master would be, or at least where the scrolls say they would be, and it's gonna work anyways. It's one of like the only things that doesn't actually have a flag that you can actually skip. So I'm gonna hold X before I interact with this, because there's a cool skip. I might not get it. It is very hard to do, but if I hold X and I skip the cutscene after interacting with the statue, I can head over into the water, and I can do a double jump right here. Oh, I was so close. Okay, you can hit the mushroom much earlier than having to wait for it to form, and hit the ball. You can jump over the moment you hit the land and then grab the ball. It only saves like 4 seconds, but you know, it's a cool little jump. It takes a little bit of practice. It's also hard to stay on the environment as it's flipping because it's trying to force you off of it. So you have to like jump at like certain frame intervals to make sure that you stay on top of them. Okay, so with that, all you have to do, it's like playing one of those like only up games. You just climb up to the top, jumping across like little platforms. Okay, or you know, you do that. Okay, I need to get more speed. I have no speed. So anyways, that happened, but that's good. I'm glad this is happening in the submission so you can see, you know, if any faults do occur, the run is still salvageable. Nothing big, no big deal. That's why I like this game a lot for marathons, is because it is a very safe run. There's not a lot that can really go wrong here. You might lose like a few seconds, but nothing game breaking to where it's like, oh, I have to like reset my entire save. So once you grab all the purple orbs, you'll be sent into an ethereal area where you'll follow the specter of your master, trying to figure out where they're going. So you want to do a little dash jump into a shield bounce to get to the second island a little bit quicker, into a shield bounce to get on top of the cathedral faster. And then this is a waterway, so you can just slide inside the water. You can also jump on the sides. So this is actually one of my favorite skips in the game because it's just so funny. The devs accidentally left a hole behind the gate. They came into my chat and they were talking about how like, oh, you know, I don't like that. I'm probably going to patch that out. And they go, just hope I forget about it. Well, it seems they forgot about it because it was never patched out. But, you know, still really funny little inside joke for me every time I see it. I'm like, he must have just went to bed that night and was like, it wasn't that important. So left in a nice little skip. So right here, you're normally supposed to lower the bridge. But if you jump on the little wheel on the side, you can do a dash jump into a double jump and then just glide over, saving yourself a little bit of time. And then right here, you can just jump on top of the mushrooms, and there is your mentor. You don't need to do the bubble jump. You can just go to the side. So if you hold X and you go all the way to this cliff and you wait for your master to get there, it'll just skip the cutscene. And then you'll end up back in the swamp where you're talking to Magnus. So just keep holding X and mashing through the dialogue because there's going to be another 2 cutscenes that you'll skip. And then once you get your character back, you just need to head over to the Spectre of Sir Lionstone and follow him through the swamp. You could technically go faster, but without him being in certain locations, the pillars don't form, and so the triggers don't activate. Oh, a little too early. I jumped a little too early, but that's okay. No big deal. So right here, you can actually do a jump at the very edge to get enough distance just to get across to do another dash jump into a shield boost. And if you time your jumps just right, you can do a shield bounce right there, into a double jump, into another glide to get across without having to jump across the other pillars. And then you go straight back into your shield sliding all the way up these stairs. There's going to be a fight here, but there is a power generator pillar, or whatever you want to call it, a power pillar, that you can just kind of stand next to. And it'll generate a bunch of energy for you, so you can just take out these enemies very quickly. They only take 3, so... And now once they're defeated, you just head over to this pillar. Oh, well, I tried. Oh, okay, well, I guess you can block Sir Lionstone. I didn't know you could do that. So apparently you can... Well, that's new. You just place that pillar and it opens up the platforms so you can get the cutscene, well, the dialogue that says you can't make it over, you need to go back to Cilicia and talk to Ginny. So you'll go back and all you have to do is slide over and then jump off into a double jump, into a shield bounce. Now, she says that she doesn't know the way to upgrade the shield, so you're going to have to fast travel back to the top and then go to the archaeologist. So once you're done, you'll go back. Ooh, okay, there we go. We'll teleport back to Cilicia. And then you'll head down the stairs and you'll go talk to the archaeologist. And she's going to give you a puzzle that you have to do where you have to hit 4 targets to unlock the scroll, and it'll fall on the ground. For some reason, I don't know if it's like short-term memory, but I always forget what the puzzle pattern is. I should know it by now, like it should be ingrained in my head. I just have a hard time. So it's this one, and then this one, and then this should be the last one, and then you can just slide out. Oh, well, I tried to slide out, but I ran into the wall, which is okay. It's whatever. So you'll drop down, you'll pick this up, you'll talk to the archaeologist, and then you'll go back to Ginny, whatever, and you'll upgrade your shield to get your boost, your air boost. So what this allows you to do is when you're inside your umbrella, you can actually put a boost of air beneath your umbrella to give you a ton of speed and aerial movement. Okay, so with that, once you have the upgrade, you head back to the swamp. Now, before you do anything, you just turn around, come here. Oh, I guess I don't have enough to upgrade my shield strength. That's okay. So... it is RNG if you'll have enough. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. If you do, you can get your shield strength up, which does a little bit more damage. And if not, you just head over here, you upgrade your abilities, and then you go into the next part where you need to go figure out what happened to your master. So, what I like to do is head this way, and then do a double jump into a boost until I hit about this wooded area. And then I like to hit this purple up until the very end of this wooden area into an extended jump. And then I wait till I'm about to touch the water and I do a boost just so I can extend the momentum. So I have enough time to get enough bounces, to get enough speed, so I can glide across this water. Same thing right here. Just enough oh, well, I hit that rock, so that... oh, but I got a nice little slide, so that helps. Now, if you time your boost right, you can sometimes make it up there, but it's okay, I did not. So this is the canyon. So the thing about the canyon is there is a I would say a lot of casual players don't like this gimmick because the game is about exploration for like 95% of it. And then you come to the canyon and there's these turrets that are just constantly shooting at you, and they never stop shooting at you, making exploration and travel very hard for like casual gamers. For speedrunners, we ignore the towers completely. We don't interact with them. They shoot at us, but it's not that big of a deal. So here, you gotta barely lower that one, and then all you want to do is match the platforms to the same height as the first one. There we go. And you can jump off this mushroom into a double jump on top of the platform. This is gonna be another hold X moment. Oh, I did not raise it high enough. You'll hold X because there's going to be a little small cutscene. Make sure you click all the gold dialogue. She will introduce you to go talk to the giant. This giant who's like blue. Now, it's pretty obvious from the demeanor that this guy is going to be bad. Or at least you think he's bad. I'm going to hold X to skip a cutscene. And then I'm going to talk to the giant, who's going to send me on a task to connect this pipeline to unleash this energy funnel that will give them back, like, I guess, power to their city, and they will give you back Magnus for doing that. So you'll have your shield back as long as you help them. So you have to make your way up this tower and connect the pipes. Now you're going to have some mushroom bounces. Now you don't have Magnus though. So you have to be careful with what you're doing because you don't have any saves with your shield. So once those two are open, that connects the entire thing. You just want to make your way up by using the mushrooms. And there's going to be a pickup item that happens that's going to change your camera perspective. Now just because your camera perspective changes doesn't mean that your control of your character is taken away. So you can actually dash and then jump and just continue down even though your camera angle looks like you wouldn't have control of your character. You do. So same thing right here. When I jump down, I'm going to make sure right before I hit the ground I jump. If I go over to this power area and I line up with it straight on and I go to the right, I can look at my quest marker. I'm not sure if I'll get it. I'm not sure if I'll get it this time. Nope, it looks like I'm not going to get it this time. Yep, okay. He was on the other side of the river. Sometimes he can be on two different sides of the arena. He was on the further side, but I still got it towards the end of the cutscene. If he's on the closer side of the river, you can get to him much faster and end the cutscene about 12 seconds earlier. But that ended it about 4 seconds earlier because he was on the further side. But you can use your quest navigator to figure out where he's pinpointed. And as long as you just watch where the yards are dropping, you can follow the yards. Okay, so we're at 2, we're at 1. Okay, it's to my left. And then you just keep clicking interact while you're doing it. So I had to click dash to interact and jump at the same time just to make sure I'm not running into any objects. So then when I do get up to him, I can interact with him and skip the cutscene. So once you do that, you'll have access to Magnus. You'll come up on top of here. You'll open this door. It doesn't matter if you jump or not, because once you grab Magnus, he's going to talk to you anyways. So you'll have enough time to get up off of your knees when you break your ankles. And then you'll just shield surf to the very end of this room, where you'll leave, and you'll enter into the final area of the game. So what you have to do here is you talk to the blue giant, and you have to make your way through the canyon to what... Okay, so that happens sometimes. I forgot that you can't ride your shield through that door because it'll keep the momentum of your character, and so when you load in, the character will walk backwards. It's a random bug they haven't fixed. But you'll talk to the giant, and they'll send you on a quest to grab a key that'll activate a tower, and you need to go to this tower to reroute the power so you can activate some crystals to get into the foundry, which is the technical final area of the game. But it doesn't really feel like a level because you don't really do anything there except fight a boss. So here, I'm not going to go towards the mission yet. I'm going to go towards this tower so I can unlock the fast travel point for later. So once the fast travel area is locked, I'm just going to make sure I dodge the towers. And hopefully I'll have a good wind funnel right here. If not, you can still make it across with just the speed. And then... So the whole point of this is just to make it across the canyon without getting sniped by the towers or without getting taken out by one of the giants. So you just want to make sure that you keep up your speed on your shield sliding. So right here, you can just jump this way and then just... Ooh, I missed the ledge, but good save. You can technically jump all the way down here without needing to stop. You just keep your momentum. Because you're moving so quick, your glide also keeps your momentum. That's a nice little lucky airstream. Airstreams are not always guaranteed to be in the same place every run. So I'm just trying to make my way to the next boss without getting hit by any of the towers and without any of the giant golems hitting me with their slashes. Okay, well, I got hit by the slash. Now, this is the hardest boss in the game, and it's not because the boss is hard. It's because there's so many things going on at one time in this fight, it's almost impossible to keep up with. There's RNG on how many enemies are in this fight, and he has a weird bug where sometimes he goes invincible for a moment, so you can't do any damage until it corrects itself. But you know, that's the fun of it. Alright, so I'm gonna do full health, and then I'll drop down. There is no enemies in this fight. It is just me and him. This might be the best RNG I've ever had, ever. I don't know what's happening this run. This is the best RNG ever. So all you have to do is keep breaking the shield on the boss, and then it'll go into the phase where it'll send these rocks into this location. And you need to destroy these rocks before the arena fills up, because if it does, it's an instant kill on your character. So all you gotta do is just keep hitting these rocks as fast as you can. If you have a special bar, it's good to use it now on them. Look how many enemies would have been in this boss fight if I would have been a little bit slower. There's so many enemies out there waiting for me. So right here, the whole goal is just to do as much damage as you possibly can and try to parry as much as you can so you can get your special up. If possible, then just keep attacking. Okay, well, sometimes your character will just lock on to the nearest enemy, and sometimes the nearest enemies are characters outside the wall. So now that the boss is defeated, you want to go up against this wall so you can get out of combat as fast as possible. Because once you're out of combat, that cutscene will happen, allowing you to pause and fast travel back to the refuge, which is the start of the area. The reason why you want to do this is because now that you have the general's key, which happens after you strip the general of his armor, you can head to the tower. So what you want to do is go to the left, and there's always a wind tunnel right here. So you can just take this wind tunnel across the canyon. Let me grab some water real quick.
Return to the ground soon.
And then you can do a quick little boost with your aerial, which gives you a maximum speed on the ground instantly. And you just want to make your way by wiggling your thumbstick left and right. So you're not going straight, but you're like jumping at a curve so the game doesn't lock you. Now this part, enemies can, like, he'll throw slashes at you, and some enemies can shoot bullets. And no matter how far away you are, if they shot the bullet, it'll follow you. So you just want to just keep moving. You don't want to stop. You can see I'm doing like a little side slash. Here, I want to go to the left and then do a double jump this way. Onto these vents. Now these vents right here is how you get to the very top of the tower. So you need to use your boost while also using these vents. And once you're up here, you'll do a quick little puzzle. It's super easy. You just head over, you hit this twice, and then this once, and then you turn this until the beams go the other way. That's it. That's the puzzle. Once the puzzle's done, you'll get a little cutscene. You'll teleport back to the fast travel area. And now that the power's been rerouted, you can now hit the crystals that head into the final area, which is called the Foundry. So you'll jump on, do a little bit of a shield dash. There's going to be a canyon with a bunch of bats in it. But with the aerial maneuver that you unlocked earlier, it's so simple to just jump over them and then do the umbrella boost so they can't hit you. Right now I'm at really high health, which is unusual for this point, but I got a really good mine boss. So I don't need to do the aerial boost. I can just go straight through them without worrying. You'll talk to the giant, and then they'll let you know that you need to power up the facility. So every single time you do this, it's the same way. You just head over here. Usually there's a wind stream right there. Perfect. Okay, so usually there's a wind stream. So
We should tear that core out of that tower to shut it.
you'll open this door, and then you'll do this little puzzle, which will activate an energy beam, and then you just go around and you try to hit all the crystals. So the thing is, though, is you want to make sure that you're close enough to the crystals for your lock-on to kick in. This game has an auto lock-on feature. I don't know if you can turn it off, but I honestly like to keep it on because it lets you know that you've registered onto the crystals. These things are so finicky that sometimes your shield will just go through them. So I'd rather know that I'm targeted onto them. Once again, if you see purple and it can get you to your location faster, it's always good to go for the purple. Once you hit that last crystal, you'll go over to this bridge into a double jump boost, so you can get close enough to this one, and then head over to the blue giant, where you'll hold X as you interact with them, because there's going to be two cutscenes. So one enters the foundry, and the other one is when you load into the foundry. Once you're in it, the first thing you need to do is get a full energy bar so you can break down this door. Once you're in this door, you'll do a double jump boost, an extended jump boost, and then a double jump up here. And then a cutscene will start. You'll go over here, you'll do a double jump boost, and then a double jump boost. And this will clip you out of bounds, but it'll push you back in. And what it does is it sends you to the top where you need to go. So once you're up here, you jump up, do another double jump boost, and you keep doing this until you go up to the second part of this. Oh, okay. The environment's being a little finicky right now. Okay, now once you've done that, you'll just umbrella your way through this little crevice, and you've made it all the way to the top of the foundry without doing any of the foundry. Amazing. And it's like the only time, I wouldn't even call it out of bounds, but you hit the respawn barrier. But the respawn barrier considers you so high up that it just takes you to the highest point, which is really nice. So you don't have to do any of like the foundry gimmicks or mechanics. So once you meet up with Sir Lion, he'll ask you to open up this door over here, so you'll grab this power cell, And you'll just do the little running glitch to get it over there.
It does.
Now, while he's doing all of that, you can come over here and grab these plants. This is actually how you get health in the game, but because I never grabbed any, I just got the tutorial pop up on what these are. Yeah, it allows you to get some HP. So while he takes out the enemies, you can stand over by the door. And so this would be like a point where I could talk about who I am, I could talk about the history of the game, I can explain more in-depth things that I could have caught up on. There can be shout outs for the charity, the event, all that. Because during this point, Lion just takes these enemies on by himself in one hit, and there's not much going on. And then I fight the boss, but there's not much to explain other than I need to break the shield like all the other bosses. So this is a really good time to just talk about whatever. Okay, so this is the second to final boss. The gimmick is to break the shield enough to where he attacks Sir Lion. So what you want to do is get next to these orbs that'll fill up your power. And you can actually, if I had my power up, this fight could have actually been over quicker, but I didn't have my power up. And then here, you just, all it is throwing your shield to get the armor down as quick as possible. And then once that happens, a cutscene will start where he picks up Sir Lion and threatens his life. But you can just do a double jump air boost up to the beam, and then use block to send the beam back at the boss. And then right here, all you have to do is remove the mask, and then the fight is technically over. Which will enter you into the second to final part of the run, where you'll go across like this little platforming area to catch up to the blue giant. You don't need to do the full area, you just need to hit certain triggers. So you'll see that I'll skip quite a few parts by using the aerial jump. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted. Oh, okay, well, I got hit by the ball. That's fun. This is not how you're supposed to do it, but I fumbled. I fumbled at the very end. That happens. I got the trigger, but I got hit by the orb, so it didn't count the checkpoint. So right here, you're just trying to get him to go to the very end. So then you can go off of this airstream, and then your character... I missed that. Your character will punch him in the face. So right here, you can just do a jump off your shield into a double jump, and then you can ride the air wave into the cutscene, where you smash your shield, and then the door behind him opens up, and it allows you to get to the final boss. So at this point, you would normally, as a casual player, have your boosting for your shield. So there's a lot of energy pylons in this part, but because we're speedrunning, we don't have enough time to collect all the upgrades. So we don't have the boost here. So all you can do is slide jump all the way to the end. But what's nice is your glide is just as fast as your boosting because of the angle of the room. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say as fast, but kind of close. Also, because your shield's not supposed to slide this long, sometimes it grips onto the ground and you lose momentum. And this is the final part. So what you're supposed to do is make your way back into the Queen's Court and take on Sir Lionstone. And with Sir Lionstone defeated, that is the end of the game. You just gotta go talk to the Queen. She thanks you for your service for the, you know, the castle, and then credits roll. So how you defeat Sir Lion, because you know he's super powerful, is you have to parry. That is just the bosses in this game. So this fight can go really fast or it can go really slow. It just really depends. My timer won't stop, but that's world record. That was a world record submission, but for some reason my timer won't stop. There we go, it stopped. Oh my goodness, so yeah, that's the ending of the game, and somehow I end up getting a world record in my submission video. I have no idea how that happened. But yes, that is the Knightling, and it's one of my favorite games. I am currently the only runner for the game. There was somebody else who was learning it. Then they saw what my time was, and they said they were going to learn the route. No word back, but it is a very fun game. It's Twirlbound's debut title into the gaming world. I love how colorful it is, how vibrant it can be. I like the music, I like the movement. Just everything about this game is so wonderful and cheerful, and I think it'd be a great addition to the GDQ lineup because of how much heart and soul was poured into it. And it released at a really bad time, right as Silksong was releasing, so it got buried under all of that, and it didn't get any recognition, and I believe it deserves it. So hopefully you enjoy the run. Have fun watching all the submissions. Good luck to the GDQ team. Good luck to all the other runners. And thank you for taking the time to watch my run. Have an amazing day. Thank you.